All right, so I just want to welcome you guys. We are so glad that you're here and that you've chosen to be a part of our team. It's really going to be an awesome experience. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is kind of the why behind everything that we do. So the biggest reason that we do everything that we do here is because we realize our ability to influence each other, our community, and really everyone around us. So with that being said, I mean, you never just, I mean, it's a saying that everyone says all the time, but you never know what somebody else is going through. So, and especially around here, we have medical buildings all around us. We have a hospital down the road. We have a hospice center, specialty hospital. I mean, they're everywhere. I could name them all, but and you'll see a lot of times people come in with either a visitor badge on or you know, a thing around their wrist saying, you know, fall risk or whatever. So you never know what kind of appointment they just came from, what kind of news they just heard, what kind of family member that they just visited, not knowing how much longer they're going to be there. And that really goes with anything. They could not have any of those things. They could have not gone to that appointment, but they could be going through a lot of other things. So, and same thing here. At our store, we have 140 employees, and so with that many 40. So with that many people here, they're not all here at the same time, I promise. But you just never know. And so I have a video for you guys that you can watch. And like this just explains it a lot better than I can. You guys will just watch. So, yeah, that video, I mean, it's a little dramatic, but it's very, very true. It's real life. And so, I mean, that can explain it way better than I ever could. But we want Chick-fil-A, especially on Roxborough Road, to be a safe place for our guests. we not only want to sell them chicken, make a good chicken sandwich, although that is very important, but we want them to be able to come here, know that they're going to be loved on, taken care of, a place where they feel safe and where they can rest and just be taken care of, and be taken care of well. And that's kind of the why. Now kind of the how. How do we do that? So we have this thing called core values. It's 5 things that we use to base off all of our decisions off of. And if you open up your red folder, and even there was one in the yellow folder as well, it has the core values on it. Yeah. On the back side of that one. Yeah. So, wow the guest. That is number 1. And that just means we stop everything to serve, and every decision benefits the guest. So, whether you're talking to a team member, or you are talking to a manager, or you are stocking cups, mopping, whatever. If you see someone standing at the counter, you literally don't drop it. If you're holding a drink, don't just drop it everywhere. But you put it away, and say, I'll be with you in just a second, whatever, and go ask them what they need, take care of them. And that's just one example, but stop what you're doing, serve the guests, and every decision that you make benefits the guests. So whether you are stocking during a short time, you are benefiting the next rush of guests that are going to come through, or cleaning a table, those sorts of things. Next is relentless pursuit of excellence, and it means continuous learning, and we beat our best. So obviously always learning different positions, new ways to do things. Last time you made a chicken sandwich in a minute. So you say, next time I'm going to make it in 45 seconds. So just always trying to get better. Play together is we choose to make work fun, and we really do. We have a blast here. We joke around with each other, but we still get the job done, and we win and lose as a team. So whether or not we have a good night, and we just beat our sales record for the day, or we just beat a really important record we've been trying to beat for a long time, we obviously all celebrate whether you were part of that or not. So if front counter breaks a record and drive-through wasn't necessarily a part of it, they didn't really do anything to help them, we still are going to be very excited for us, because we are a team. And we like to use that we and us word a lot. So if a guest comes in and got the wrong drink in drive-through, you take care of it, of course, and then go over to drive-through. You want to let them know that the guest got the wrong drink, but you don't say, hey, you gave them the wrong drink. We gave them the wrong drink. So it's just really looking at this place as a team, and really just having that team mindset. All right, so say it, do it, also known as communicate it, do it. If you say that you can do something, then you must follow through and do it. And if you can't do something, then you must say that you can't do it up front. So if you are really busy making drinks in drive-through and front counter says, hey, can you make me a milkshake? And you say yes, they're going to expect that milkshake within 3 minutes. 3 minutes goes fast and you're still over there sweating it out on drinks. They're going to be like, where's my shake? This guest has been waiting for minutes. So it would be better to say, I think that you should find someone else. I can't do it right now. And same thing with shift coverage. If somebody asks you to cover their shift and you have a big test exam, you have to babysit, whatever, make sure that you are looking at your schedule beforehand so that you know that you can be there. So whether it's saying, yeah, for sure, I can definitely be there, or I'm not sure if I can be there by that time, but I can cover 7 to 9 instead of 5 to 9, whatever it may be. But just know that this one's really important because it's how trust is broken and how it's established as well. So it's very important. And this is actually the one that I struggle with the most because I'm a yes person. I want to say, yeah, I can be there. Yeah, I can write 5 papers tonight and, wash your dog and, but then I'm getting phone calls from 3 different people because I'm supposed to be at 3 different places at once, and that's where the second little line comes in. If you can't do it, you must say that up front. So that's what I struggle with. I have done a lot better just having this model to like look at and reflect on, but just make sure that you make that a priority. Next is serve each other. So serve each other means that we see the needs of our team and we meet the needs of our team. So this one is when you're in line getting your break food, we are going to treat you just like we'll treat any other guest. We'll say, ma'am, sir, we can serve you over here. And we'll repeat your order. Just you'll get the same experience as a guest would. When you're sitting back here on your break, people will come check on you, ask you if you need refills. They'll take your tray. Obviously, our guests are going to come first, but after they're taken care of, somebody's going to come take care of you guys as well. So that's one way that we like to serve each other. And then another thing is if you see that someone is having a rough day or has a lot of drinks on their screen and you're not busy, you can help. Just kind of being aware of those things. It's not always appropriate to say something because I know personally, if I'm having a really bad day, which is very rare, but I'm having a really bad day and people can tell it, which I said very rare, the last thing I want is for someone to ask me what's wrong, because then most likely the waterfalls are going to start coming. So it's more of just being aware and just making a special effort to help them. And it might be a position where you can say, hey, I see that you maybe don't feel good. Is there anything I can do to help? Hope you feel better, etc. And those are just a couple ways, but we try to serve our team as best as we can. And you'll have leaders, your one-on-one group will talk to you about that as well. All right, so we're going to take a break from me talking. If you guys will open the yellow folder, we're going to sign through some documents. So flip over one more time. Yep. So this is our non-harassment policy. You can read through it quickly if you'd like, but it's just saying that if you harass anyone or anyone harasses you, that will be dealt with. Most of the time, it means termination. But if you agree to that, print, sign, and date your name for me. Y'all ate those minis up.
I was like, this is going to be over in perfect time.
Yeah, you guys will still get break food after, so you can get more.
Oh, wow.
Take some to your roomies.
Today's the night.
Yes. Have your hand right.
Thank you. Don't look in mine. I got chicken scratches.
I do too. I really do. There's only some that it makes me sign. So, but on the opposite side, right there, you e-sign this during your People Matter paperwork. But we also like to have one in the store. It's just saying that you got the team member handbook and you know that this is at-will employment, meaning that you can leave at any time or we can ask you to leave at any time. If you understand that, print, sign a date, and then I'll sign a date under that. And if you guys haven't had a chance to read through the handbook, I would strongly encourage it. Just because a lot of the things that we're talking about, it's more in depth there. So if you have any questions afterwards, the answer's most likely going to be there. And it's just really important to make sure that you know what you're getting into, what you signed when you said, hey, I read that. So I know I'm one of those people that says that I agree to the terms and conditions when I haven't even opened the link for them. I get it.
I just go ahead and click the box like, I don't know what this is.
Right, exactly. I totally get it.
Scrolls all the way down. They're about to kill me and I'm talking about I agree. And probably just sold my soul, but that's all right.
I think that's how everyone is. But Next we have the OSHA packet. So this packet has a lot of like symbols and talks about some of the chemicals that are in the store. And I do encourage you to read through this when you get home. We don't have time for you to read through it right now, but by law I'm required to give you the packet. So I have done that. And if you agree that I have done that, just print, sign, and date there for me.
I'm not responsible for the shooting. I don't use very much, but anyway, I need everyone to see bundle up, it's gonna be cold cut, Dave. If it's summer, like the weather we had the last 2 months.
And then we'll take a break from signing things for just a second. Also, anything that you take home, you can put in the red folder because you'll be taking the red folder home. We'll go over at the end so you know what documents to take, what to leave in the yellow folder, but the red folder will be taken home. All right. We'll talk a little bit about Chick-fil-A as a whole. The corporate purpose is to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that's entrusted to us and to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And I think we do a really good job of living that out here as well. That was made by Truett Cathy, which is the founder of Chick-fil-A. The first one was founded in 1967 in Atlanta's Greenbrier Mall. And it's actually a picture of it right there on the wall. That was the first freestanding Chick-fil-A was opened in 1986. So a store like this, but the mall stores were more common back then. Truett Cathy also had these Dwarf grills, and our leadership team took a trip to Atlanta recently and were able to go to one of the Dwarf grills. It was a super cool experience. They were open 6 days a week and 24 hours, so 24/6. But he's always been closed on Sunday, even before Chick-fil-A with the Dwarf grills. This Chick-fil-A, Roxborough Road, has been here since 1999. Every year our sales have increased. And like I said earlier, we have about 140 employees. That is including college students who have to go home for summers and breaks. College students who live here but go away for college, so they're only here during breaks and summers. High schoolers, 15-year-olds who can only work a couple of hours. A lot of different people. So I know that sounds like a big number, and it definitely is. There's definitely a lot of people here at once, but I promise you 140 of us will never be here at once. I hope, because maybe one day we'll need that many people. We'll see. We are top 20% in the country of overall guest satisfaction, which I don't know if you guys have visited here often, but every 10th or whatever guest will get a little survey on their receipt, and it'll say if you fill this out you'll get a free sandwich. So it asks you things about how the food tastes, how attentive we were, how fast the service was, and just things like that, and that's what we use to figure out what we need to change, and of those scores we are top 20% in the nation. We are number 2 drive-through in North Carolina. We don't have to talk about who is better than us, but they are right off the interstate, and so their lunch rush is like super big. But ours is very big as well. From 12 to 1, our record right now is 254 cars in 1 hour. Yeah, it's.
That's a lot of breathing I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
Oh, it is perfect. You'll be able to be a part of it. It's super awesome. Just to watch the whole thing, but it is super crazy. Right now we're number 1 drive-through in the chain for breakfast. I think this is very interesting. Chick-fil-A as a whole didn't advertise our breakfast menu for a long time. For a long time actually, they were more focused on advertising the cow, and so the cow was in all of the commercials, all of the ads, and our food wasn't really in it. Most people knew that we had a chicken sandwich, and that was about it. And that it was a good sandwich, they would come here for it, but that was all they really knew. Somehow though, North Durham figured out that we have breakfast and they eat it up. And I think right now our breakfast goal, or our breakfast record from 8 to 9 is like 225 carbs. So that for breakfast.
I'm like, it's 7 something.
On a Saturday morning too. Yeah. But yeah, it's super busy all the time. The average Chick-fil-A does about $2.5 million a year, whereas the average McDonald's is about $2.5 million a year. Did I say that Chick-fil-A does 4.5?
No, you said 2.5.
I meant
Yeah, they were
4.5. 4.5. And then McDonald's does 2.5. We, in 2018, we did $7.4 million in sales. And we were also closed for a remodel for 5 weeks. So we were projected to do more than that. But unfortunately, that was just this store. Yep. 7.4 million. That was with the closed. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll and like I said, every year our sales have increased. So this year it'll be more, unless something super drastic happens. We are open Monday through Saturday, 6 to 10, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Tony Fernandez, which is the guy you guys met when he came in, he is our owner operator. So, all right, next we're gonna go over some really basic stuff: schedule, payday, blah, 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 blah. I would get out the agenda that was in the front of this, just in case. I know that it's pretty similar to what I'm saying, but if it's not, if I say something that's not on there and you think it's important, which it probably is what I'm saying, go ahead and jot it down. So our work schedule. An email will be sent out every Friday morning. And Hot Schedules is the app that you'll use to view and make changes to your schedule. And you need to make sure that you set your availability up as soon as possible. I will show you guys how to do that after we finish talking. But it's very important that you get that in. We can't schedule you until your availability is in. So, and you must, sorry, go ahead.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because a lot of jobs just schedule, like, they don't know, they just sit here and schedule.
Right. We do our schedule 2 weeks in advance. So right now I have my schedule for next week and for the next week. So I know what my schedule is for next 2 weeks. We do that for a lot of reasons. One, so you can make plans. Two, so if you messed up your availability, forgot to ask off, asked off but didn't get it approved, you have 2 weeks to make sure that it gets taken care of. So I encourage you, when the schedules come out, don't just look at the next week. Go ahead and look at next week's to make sure that everything's good, what it needs to be. Because I mean, we make mistakes not very often because it's kind of hard to with our scheduling app. It helps us out a lot. It tells us like if we're making a mistake, but every once in a while it can happen. So you just want to make sure that you catch that. Payday is every other Thursday. Direct deposit is available, but I think you guys both chose physical check. That's fine. Just make sure that you pick up your check before 11 a.m. or after 2 p.m. So that 11 to 2, is lunch rush. We don't have time. We don't have hands to go in the safe and get those checks. There's chicken slinging everywhere. It's ridiculous. There's bodies flying. Like you never know. You might get hit by a milkshake. So no, not really, but it is really crazy, and there are bodies everywhere. It's hard to move. Yeah. So I'm super excited for you guys to get to experience it though. Request time off. You need at least 3 weeks to in advance to request time off. Hot Schedules actually won't let you request off any earlier than that, so you don't really have a choice but to wait 3 weeks in advance. Your availability is your constant every day, every week, what I'm normally available. So if you have class from 8 to 5 and you know that you can't get here until 5:30, so you set your availability 5:30 to 11, which we close at 10, but most of the time we get out around 10:30. So 5:30 to 11, just be on the safe side. And you say that you're available to do that Monday, Tuesday, Friday, but the other days you have band practice or whatever, so you're unavailable on those days. And that is going to be every day until next semester or whatever, when your schedule changes. So availability is what the normal day-to-day, week-to-week schedule looks like. Now, if every other Wednesday you have a meeting at school that for student government or something, you just need to request off. So you need to request time off for those days. So go into your student government calendar, see exactly dates, times, etc. that you need to ask off, and ask off now. So that way, number one, it gets you kind of seniority over other people that have asked off. The earlier you ask off, and the more important the reason. Most of the time, we do really well at getting people the time off that they need, unless it's like every day that you're asking off. And we're like, is there a problem? But we do really well. Just make sure that you fill out the reason why and just give us as much notice as possible. That'll just really help get the time off that you need. Any questions about that?
Yes.
What's up?
So when we put in our availability, I feel like getting the hourly done, will it be on the next 2 weeks?
So yeah, that is a really good question. While you're training, it'll be a little bit different. So I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but you'll actually get your schedule on Thursday, and it'll just be 1 week at a time until you kind of like graduate training. After that, then you'll get on the regular schedule. All right. Break policy. So you get free tea and soft drinks throughout your shift. No lemonade or milkshakes, iced coffee, any of those specialty drinks. We do have to pay for those. But tea and soda is for your whole shift. You have an $8 allowance for your break food if you are on time. If you are late even by 1 minute, then you get that allowance taken away from you. So you would just have to pay full price for the food that you ordered on your break. But if you do get there on time, you have $8 to spend however you want, and you can get a biscuit and a milkshake or a fruit cup and a salad, whatever you want. If you go over the $8, it's fine. We'll take away the $8 and you just pay whatever the 50 cents, $1 that you spent extra. And you get the break is 30 minutes and it's unpaid, so you will clock out. Your little sheet will print out. Add 30 minutes to that time and be back ready. Make sure that you throw away your tray, clean off your table. You've gone to the bathroom. You are ready to be back in position at the 30-minute mark. You should already have your number punched in and be waiting at the manager station for a manager to clock you in at that mark. Any questions about that? If you're late, you might can get it excused, but you normally eat right back here.
So I was about to say, y'all have people that be leaving.
No, not really allowed to do that. But let's see, unless it's approved. Benefits. So you get 50% off of meals or anything when you are off the clock for you and your immediate family. Make sure that you listen up to this because this is really important. You're going to sign a sheet that says that you listen to this and that you know how important it is and that you will not break this rule. When you are off the clock, so that's not a break. Just because on break you're technically still on the clock. You're just having a break. Okay, your mom and dad can't come in if you're working. They can't come in and get the 50% off because you're on the clock. If you get off of work at 3 o'clock and your family meets you here at 3:05, you guys can get whatever you want. You guys can get the 50% off. Immediate family is mom, dad, brother, sister, children, husband, wife. If we find out that you say that someone is your immediate family and they are not, you will be terminated. So it's really important. If you misuse it in any way, it does equal termination. You cannot take any of the food with you. So if you order 10 sandwiches and it's only 5 of y'all, you try to take 5 of them to go, that's no good. So all the food must be eaten here. So you must be off the clock, must be your immediate family. All the food must be eaten here. And then we also do 50% off of catering items up to $100. So you can get nugget trays, strip trays, salad trays, whatever you want, up to $100. If you go over $100, then you don't get the 50% off. But if it's under, then you do. So training updates. You will download Slack, which you guys got an email from them. Were you guys able to download the app yet and get signed in? Yep.
I was able to look at it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you'll download that app and get signed in, and I'll show you what channel to join. It'll be the store-wide channel. I would go ahead, and I'll tell you this later as well, I would go ahead and turn on the notifications for the app because all of our communication is done through there. You'll get direct messages from maybe your one-on-one leader, maybe a team member trying to find coverage, all of those things. So a lot of important things happen on that app, so it's really important to make sure that you are looking at it, reading it. The training updates are sent every Monday. They are sent normally around 5 p.m. and they'll say in the little dialogue that goes with it, it'll say, hey, this is your training update for this week. It's due Wednesday at 5 p.m. So they always come out on Monday and they're always due on Wednesday, but it just depends sometimes whether it's 5 p.m., 7 p.m., etc. So you have a while to complete them. They are really easy. They're just like a couple of paragraphs and then you answer a couple of questions. Sometimes there will be a video in them or maybe an article about something. But like I said, it takes about less than 5 minutes to read them. You read it, answer a couple of questions, make sure that you say that you know what your name is, and then you're good to go. If you do not complete them in the time allotted, then you will lose your break food for a week. So you won't get free food for a week. You'll go on your breaks, obviously, but you just will have to pay for whatever you get full price, or you can bring like food from home or something. So they're really important. We have a lot of employees, and we found that this is the best way to communicate important information. Just because mouth to mouth with 140 people is not
So
very.
this is for everybody. This is just for us. I thought it was.
Oh, nope. So this is for everybody. Even managers have to do it. Everybody that works here has to do it.
You said they go when now?
On Monday evenings, and then they're due on Wednesday evenings. So dress code. So slip-resistant shoes are required starting on your first shift. They need to be black. You can find them anywhere, really. Payless. Shoes for Crews, which this information is, there's also a frequently asked question sheet in your red folder. So it'll show you Shoes for Crews. They're more expensive there, but they do last longer, so it's really just up to you guys. Walmart has them, Target has them, a lot of places have them if you'll just ask around. But you can get whatever design you want, as long as it's closed-toed, which I assume most slip-resistant shoes would be. But yeah, and they need to be black. Make sure that's really the most important thing, that and your name tag on your first day. No hoop earrings, nose rings, or visible tattoos. So if you have any of those things, you'll have to take it out. Except for a tattoo, you can't really do that. It'll just need to be covered. So your fingernails must not extend past your fingertips when looking at the open palm. So this means no acrylics, no.
I took one off, but I'm like,
I know. It's just a food safety. Got to make sure that.
has like carrying a lot of stuff.
Yeah, fingernails are gross. They really are. But you can paint your nails. So we try to stick to like neutral colors. No, please no like
Yellow.
lime greens, lime orange, neon orange, or neon pink. Those kind of things. No gossip policy. We have strict no gossip policy. This is workplace. It's very important to maintain our team kind of culture that we've built here. It took us a while to build the culture that we have here, and we want to make sure that we keep it because it's very important to us. So if you have an issue with another team member or a manager, whomever, doesn't really matter. Don't wait. Go ahead, go straight to a manager. Let them know. Obviously, make sure you pull them aside. Make sure it's not like out in the open. Like, be professional about it. But make sure that we get it taken care of as soon as possible. We want this to be a fun place for you guys to work and for you guys to enjoy it. And we want to help you. So if you have problems, let us know. We want to make sure that we kind of nip it in the bud while it just starts. So or if people need to be adjusted, whatever. Being on stage. So with that being said, just make sure that you don't gossip as well. So about other team members, about other managers, it gets back to us.
Yeah.
Because people may say they won't stitch, but they will. And that's what you're supposed to do. So, just don't do it. It just tears our team apart. We really don't like that. All right. Being on stage. We adopted this term from Disney, actually, Disneyland World. Probably both. And they say, they use the term being on stage a lot. What that means is sometimes Cinderella will have to walk 10 minutes across the park to actually get to where she's going to be working that day. However, she's already dressed as Cinderella. Her hair is already done like Cinderella. She's probably already lost her slipper, whatever it may be. But she has to walk like her. She has to talk like her all the way to her destination. Even though she may not even technically be on the clock yet, because she's still walking to her job. But she still has to be Cinderella. She can't walk sloppy. She can't, spit, whatever. She has to be very elegant. And we expect the same here. So if you are in a Chick-fil-A uniform and you're on our property, we expect that even though you may not be on the clock or ready to work yet, that you still are on our stage. People are always looking. Like I said, we are a very, very busy store, one of the top performing stores in the nation, so people are always here. Very, very busy, and people are always looking, especially when they see that red polo. So we just ask that, your body language, things that you say, the way that you walk and talk, modifies what a Chick-fil-A employee is supposed to be, especially when you're in the building and taking your break in the bathroom. Doesn't matter. If you have something that you need to discuss that will not have language that'll, be a Chick-fil-A employee language, then you can get in your car if you would like. But while you are on a property in uniform, you are serving guests, opening doors for guests, grabbing a piece of the trash if you see it in the parking lot. Anything like that. Again, just trying to wow the guest, dropping everything that you're doing to serve them. All right, top 3, bottom 3. So every month, our management team votes the top 3 performers and the bottom 3 performers of the month. So we use our core values to judge this. So if somebody has shown our core values really well that month, then they will probably get top 3. If they have not, then they will probably get bottom 3. So if they've had a bad attitude, if they've said that they would be here and they weren't here, if they've not tried to learn new things, they have been too busy talking instead of serving guests, somebody like that will probably get bottom 3. But like I said, if you are doing all of these things, then you have a good chance of getting the top 3 nomination. So if you get top 3 times in a year, then you get a raise. If you get bottom 3 times in a year, we used to say that it equaled termination. We realize that that's not always true. A lot of times it does mean that, but it's not kind of the rule anymore. Just because we've realized that sometimes when people get bottom 3, it's because they've been placed in the wrong position, and that they would do better somewhere else. And so we take it very seriously. If you are nominated for either of these, you will technically get a write-up. Like, we document it. That's what we call it. We'll document it. We'll put it in our, we have this whole system that keeps all of our documentations about, whether or not you were late or top 3, bottom 3, any behavioral issues that we've had, we document all of it, so that way we just have a record of it. So if you get top 3, we'll get you to sign a little thing saying, yeah, I did get top 3, so that way we know if we think we've seen your name a couple of times, we can go look and say, oh yeah, they've already gotten it 3 times this year, they need a raise. So same thing with bottom 3. And this will be your one-on-one coach. So after a couple weeks working here, you will get a message from your one-on-one coach, and they'll say, hey, I'm your one-on-one coach. And this person should be someone that you work with a good amount. So if you're PM, then it'll probably be somebody who predominantly works PM, AM, same thing. And this person is just here to kind of bridge the gap between employees and managers, and kind of just employees and like how they feel about the business. So they will meet with you once every 2 months for around 30 minutes. Sometimes it may not be a sit-down conversation for 30 minutes. Sometimes it will be they're about to clock you out and they say, hey, can we talk for a couple minutes? Just catch up, see how you're doing inside the business, outside the business. They will be the person who kind of watches you, tells you things that you can improve on, things that you're doing well. They're just kind of your go-to person. So if you have any questions about maybe becoming a leader, like the leadership program, or having more responsibility at the store, or even things outside of work, we have a life coach who literally can help you do anything. She can help you buy a house, find an apartment, enlist in the Army, apply for colleges. Like, it's a very broad thing. We've hired her to help nourish our dreams. So, and that's available to you guys, us, for free. So, your one-on-one coach can help you get in contact with her. It's just a lot of opportunities here. So if you have any questions about them, one-on-one coach is going to be your kind of go-to person for that. Training process. So like I said, your first day, you will be in lobby, so make sure that you dress appropriate. No leggings, no jeans, no sweatpants. Dress pants are fine, khakis, navy blue, black, whatever. And then we ask that you wear a collared shirt. If you don't have one, that's fine. Just any kind of blouse, as long as you are modest. Make sure that comes up here, and the midriff showing. And for guys, there'd be no sagging pants or anything like that. So, and we prefer that you wear a belt. If you have a red polo or even a red button up to kind of fit in more, that'd be great. But obviously, again, no bright greens, no neon colors. Try to stick with something neutral, and something that you can put your name tag on with. So keep that in mind. I've never had a problem with putting my name tag on clothes, because I mean you have to like punch it in, but some people, I mean, it could mess up maybe a certain blouse, but be careful about that. If you don't have the slip resistant shoes, we will have to send you home, just because it's a liability issue. It's very slippery in the kitchen, and you will go back there for different tasks. So make sure that you have that. Make sure that you dress appropriately. If not, you will be sent home. If you have a question about what's appropriate, I have texting. You can, text me. You can Slack me. I'll show you how to do all that stuff. All right. After your lobby shift, you will be assigned a trainer who will train you in all of the different positions. So you'll learn how to take orders on front counter. You'll learn how to work the drive-through window. You'll learn how to take orders outside drive-through. All different things. After you have finished your initial training, you will be handed your 30-day training checklist. And that's actually back here. You can kind of look through and see the things that you're going to be doing. I think it's kind of fun to be like, oh, I'm going to learn how to do that. That's kind of fun. But yeah, so 30-day checklist. You have 30 days to complete it. So your trainer will hand it to you, and they'll say, congratulations, you have graduated training. You should be able to be in all of these different positions and perform well. This is your 30-day checklist. You have 30 days to complete it. If you do not complete it in the 30 days allotted, then it does mean that you will be terminated. We have never had anybody be terminated for this. And we actually copied this from a store, a Chick-fil-A in California, and they had never had anybody be terminated for not completing it. It's a very easy task. If you just come in with the mindset of, hey, I'm going to finish 3 to 5 things every time I work, it'll be completed in just a couple of days. I have meetings, they're one-on-one coaches. They do write-ups, those kinds of things. And those people will not be wearing a red shirt. So whether or not they're wearing a shirt like what I'm wearing, or they will wear a blue and white striped shirt, which I'll show you. I'm sure there's somebody up there. But yeah, that's how you can tell. And then obviously just a couple days here, you'll know who's what. But yeah. Any other questions? I'm a captain. So you have senior team member, captain, assistant coach, and then coach. So we have 5 coaches: Matt Rice, so who you interviewed with, he's one of them, and then we have one for kitchen, who's Hilda. Tebow is the operations coach, so we say that he's in charge of anything that can't breathe. So he works on the machines, he works on the truck orders, anything that is not related to people, he does. He's super awesome at that stuff. Whenever something's broken, we just start screaming his name, and he comes and runs and helps. Hilda is our marketing coach, and she helps with all kinds of stuff. She helps with catering. She helps with keeping. She makes a lot of meetings for us. She schedules all of our meetings. Really awesome at that. And then Jacob is our drive-through coach. So he's pretty much the man behind our drive-through, and has done a lot of asking around other stores, a lot of different store visits. He's done a lot of things to kind of help our drive-through be where it is today. So you guys will take home the agenda sheet, which was the first one. You'll take home the OSHA packet. You'll take home the orientation takeaway sheet. Basically anything that you signed leaves stays in there, except for the 30-day checklist that stays in as well. That'll be given to you after you complete your initial training. Sorry. And then that contact favorite sheet needs to be in the yellow folder as well. All right, so once you get here, all of the things that you're going to need to do are going to be here. So you can request time off, availability. All of our staff is here. So, well, once you get in the system. So all of our numbers will be there. So if you're ever like, oh shoot, how do I get in contact with Savannah? My number will be there, and so is everybody else's number that works here. So if you need shift coverage, you just text and call. All of the numbers are there. If you go to my availability, and you can change your availability, you just need 3 weeks in advance. So if the semester is going to be changing soon, 3 weeks in advance, go ahead and change your availability. That way you don't get scheduled during class or whatever it may be. So obviously we're closed on Sundays, but what's your schedule? Are you like available to work? I know that you have a certain availability, but if we wanted you to start Monday, could you? Okay, so you go ahead and hit done. Not saying that you will be scheduled Monday. So you go to each day, and if you're available the whole day, you can be scheduled at any time. You hit available. If you're unavailable the whole day, then you hit unavailable. And if you're partially available, 9 to 3, 5 to close, whatever it is, hit partially available, and then select the times that you're available on Mondays. And you're gonna have to do this for each day. So you'll have to do Monday, then you'll have to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way down. Make sure that you set yourself up to success and that you're going to be on time. So if you have a class that gets out at 9 and you say that you can be here at 9:05 and your class is 15 minutes away, that's probably not a good idea. So just make sure of that. Okay, and like I said, you can change it at any time. It just will probably be about 3 weeks before it actually gets changed. And then that one's for Tuesday, so go ahead and do Tuesdays and just keep going down the list. So that's all I have for you guys. We look forward to having y'all on our team, and we can't wait for y'all to get started.